Well, the United States team's basketball during these FIBA tournaments have been exposed. In fact, many of the games that United States won was always towards the fourth quarter. Much salute to the coaches of the United States, USA basketball, but Lithuania, and I hope I pronounce it. My pronunciation is the way it is. Y'all know I'm Haitian American, so my accent is everywhere. And I was born in South Florida, so, it's a part of multicultural people. But anyways, Lithuania is a far more disciplined team. You can decide who's the better team or not, but during team basketball, it doesn't matter who are the better individual stars or none of that. What you have is a team that was well executed during their game planning, and they listen to their coach and they know how to get it done. With Team USA, it's not that they don't listen to their coach. We had a great squad. You know what I mean? It's just that the basketball they grew up playing is very different from European basketball. See, I lived in Europe during my military days. And when I did go to the parks in Lower Bavaria, or when I stayed in Czech Republic, I got married in Denmark, in Hohenfels. I've seen it's not just soccer they played. That's when I knew we were in danger. It's not just when I watched Team USA lose to these other countries when I was a kid, but it's just literally watching them myself and seeing them in these foreign countries, how well they are. Like, I'm just being honest. I remember the Army's team played against Germany, and I think we only won by 3 points. And this was in 2006, sorry. And that let me furthermore know how advanced they have come. And it's not to the point where you can keep saying, wow, they're good for this country, or they actually, no, you have to now acknowledge them as the same level of Team USA. Some of the best basketball players around the world who are in the NBA are not from America. And that American pride should always be there. But the ego that most Americans have, including me at times, I'll acknowledge it. I raise my hand. We need to let go of our ego, not our pride. Every country should have pride, unlike the women's national soccer team, who always takes a chance to not be Americans or not be part of this country, yet they try to cry about, you know what I'm saying, equality of gender and all that, when we know the women's soccer team made way more money than the men's. But I don't want to get into that right now. See, I'm everywhere. But Lithuania, they need to get a round of applause from all people around the world, including starting with America, because mostly you're going to see people making excuses and saying, well, this wasn't our best basketball team players. We took scrubs on the teams. But I've seen America lose to great opponents, even with our best players on the team. So to say that they didn't have great players is disrespectful, because I thought we had the great players in the world in America. You can't say that anymore. And it brings value to what Noah Lyles was saying as far as the NBA calling themselves the world champions. It is an egotistic, centric behavior we have as American. And before anybody get in a fickle, I acknowledge we, meaning me too included, so don't be emotional. The reason why Team USA lost is specifically for ego problems. And let me be real, even if someone is humble, we're not really brought up in strategic planning. It looks like it because coaches call in certain plays, but these group of gentlemen and women across the seas, they practice these plays strategically for years and years at a highly young age. And we don't do that here. I know you think we do. We don't, man. And it's not about a race thing in America, because even if you go to Iowa or India, all the way to Georgia and Florida and New York, it might be difference in coaching, but it all comes down to the same thing. It comes down to egos. Coaches want to be seen as the best. Coaches want to be known as the guy who changed X, Y, and Z. But you have to pick the players who are fundamentally sound with executing these plays and strategies. It can work for so long as a team is not like a Lithuania. But we've seen this tournament, there was many teams like Lithuania, because USA almost had several scares during their time in this FIBA tournament. I can't believe people haven't been paying attention to it. I've seen certain scares they had, monstrosities of almost losing, but I give them props. They came back in the fourth, and, they're still in this somewhat, but you can't take it away as far as what the world contributes to basketball. People for years now have looked at these other countries as a lesser team, even though they've proven for years and years they can beat United States at any given time, no matter what talent we got on the floor. but yet you're still going to have the naysayers who are going to speak against. It has nothing to do with the hard work of that particular country. They're going to tell you it has everything to do with the American players not being the best players at the time. We picked the wrong players. Way too much excuses, man. When are you going to give flowers to people who deserve their just due? And Lithuania played an outstanding game. They were very focused. It was a team-oriented game. But what's even better, though, their individuals actually peaked. You got to see individuals for that team. Not that they were playing individual, but you can see the star power that each one of those players had. I'm telling you, and it's just not Lithuania only. I've seen several countries we played in this tournament that it didn't shock me, but it opened my eyes to the point of, man, you just can't ignore none of these teams anymore. I've waited for a moment like this when basketball becomes equal. I'm not talking about all this gender and all that. No, I'm talking about equal as far as competitive level. I remember the Dream Team. Yes, I'm an old head. I remember some of the Dream Teams. Maybe they were a little bit old tapes, but I've seen them live. I'm an 80s baby. I remember the Dream Team would beat some of these teams. And, you know, you're looking like, where's the pushback? Where's the competition? But Lithuania, even back then, was always known as the team that pushes the United States of America. So you telling me those fathers and grandfathers who seen Michael Jordan and seen how he played, you telling me their kids today are not on equal par and equal level with our Anthony Edwards or whichever group of gentlemen on the team, which is a lot, Brunson and a whole lot more. So now this is what you dream of. You want to be competitive and play against the best only. I don't want nothing to be given. My life wasn't like that. So why would I watch my sports and watch them become like that, where people feel entitled? And that's the problem with most American basketball players. They are self-entitled all their life. They've been told they're the best. They have these AAU is destroying American basketball, my personal opinion. AAU has been the worst thing for American basketball. And if you haven't been watching these other countries catching up, you're late to the party. I dreamed of this day, and now that I'm getting older and older, my dream came true and to fruition at best. That teams have now been a problem for each other, meaning no matter who plays who, they can lose at any given day. You need that. You need that, not just to sell tickets and build the brands of all this beautiful thing called basketball, but the international aspect of it has broadened the horizon to even more further. Now, players who are part of the American system, if we've been playing overseas, but now you'll have more respect to go play overseas if it doesn't work out for you, because you know the level of talent in these other leagues as well is high IQ basketball. It's not just about your athletics gift to the world. And I don't know if you've been noticing, these other countries have very athletic players as well. I've been noticing that for years now. People love to say, oh, this guy can jump good for a white guy or whatever. No, they have caught up with athletic energy years ago. I don't know if you remember, Orlando Magic have drafted with the 5th pick. I forgot that dude's name. I don't know if he plays in the league anymore, but I think his vertical was 40 something, and he would dunk like crazy during NBA games and when he was overseas. So they've been caught up athletically as well. So nobody needs to put their head down and talk about USA. We're in trouble. It doesn't matter what players would have put on the floor. A team might have beaten us regardless. That was going to happen, man. I promise you, on my kid's life, I predicted this somewhat. I just didn't know it was going to be this quick. I thought in the finals or something. So hey, kudos to Lithuania and all the great players they have. Much love from this platform. I'm out.